Hey everybody, this is a different kind of style of video, but I think it'll be really helpful. I found this on Instagram, and just wait until you see it because it's really going to resonate with a lot of you that follow. So this is off this guy Fred M, his channel, and it's titled "How Fast Men Can Become Nonchalant in Relationships." The reason I want to show it to you is because it captures this interaction that I find so often in couples. And just check out the comments. I mean, 14.8 thousand comments, 370,000 likes. Um, this is the reality of 99% of marriages these days. Zero respect. They wonder why we changed. It's because she always wants on her terms with that face. Dude, the whole video, I did not hear the words, "I'm sorry." Steve went in for a hug and got labeled annoying. That's rough, buddy. Bitten there many times, clearly striking a nerve. And just goes on and on. Women should learn that never ever do that. Okay, so people are hopping on this video left and right. Let's take a look at it real quick. So
Stop, honey, you're being annoying. Stop, you're being annoying now.
See how fast guys become nonchalant in relationship? Watch until the end.
Honey, come on, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry.
I heard you. I'm annoying.
What are you doing?
I'm sitting down. I don't want to annoy you.
okay, so it's a little dramatic, but with the music and the tone of the video, like it's capturing an emotion, and I think that's why so many people like this, because it puts images and words to how they're feeling. And just a recap is the wife's washing dishes. The guy goes up for a hug. She goes, "Stop, don't do that. You're annoying. You're being annoying." And then he leaves. Right?
What are you doing? I thought we were going out to lunch.
I'll do that. Oh, I'm
Where are you going?
over here. I don't want to annoy you.
Oh my
I
god.
don't want to annoy you.
What are you doing up here? You folding your laundry?
Yeah.
I just wanted to see what you were doing.
See? Putting my clothes away and holding on.
Do you want to hang out with me?
Yeah.
Okay, so like Woody, I guess, captures this feeling. But if you're watching this by now, you got to name the emotion that this person's feeling. Like something's happening, right? And the reason I want to show you this too, stick with me, is because there's a better way to do this. Despite what all these people in the comments say is like divorce and she should never do that. Like there's failure on two sides of this equation. And if you want to have a mature relationship, listen up, because he is feeling the emotion of rejection. We can all relate to that. We've all been in there. And what he chooses to do to feel better when he's rejected is turn away and withdraw. And he left the room, and you can hear his comments like, no, I don't want to be annoying. He's basically wore this label that I'm somehow annoying, and it's actually comforting to kind of like protect yourself, to go, I'm the bad one. That's the easiest sort of meaning that you can grab onto, and it provides a temporary comfort, but it's not true. He's not bad. He didn't do anything wrong. Now her fault is she was a little harsh up front. You're being annoying. But to be fair, a healthy relationship can weather those types of interactions no problem. But now notice, like, she follows
I don't want to be touched. I don't want to be touched.
right. And so now she's kind of doing the same thing he was doing earlier. He's like, I don't want to be touched, which every single person on the planet has moments where they don't want to be touched. That's not the problem. He also walked away, and she followed him up the stairs, and she kept following. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Stop laughing. Don't touch my face.
I'm a gosh, Vince McMahon at like emotion.
Right. And so there's this dynamic where she is then feeling an emotion. She's feeling fear of disconnection. And so what happens is this cycle starts to happen. Uh, oops. let's undo that. Is he wants to withdraw. And so rejection. I'm just gonna put REJ. You get the idea. So he goes this way. And then oops. And then she starts to follow him because she's going fear of disconnection. And that's like one of the main cycles. And so it just kind of like circles around and around. Um, and nobody likes that feeling. It's awful. So the way out of that, what do? Is he can stop. Like he's hugging his wife or girlfriend or whatever. And to be fair, let's take a look at this. Maybe they have kids. Maybe she's just touched out. I know that's true. My wife sometimes is like, I don't want to be touched by anyone because my kids have been hanging on me all day. I get it. Maybe she just doesn't feel good. Sometimes when you're sick, you don't want to be touched either. Looks like she's at the kitchen. Looks like she's doing the dishes. It's okay for her to not want to be touched. And it's also okay for him to want to show love and give a hug. Like, no, nobody's doing anything wrong here. But what happens is she says no. She says stop. Oops. She says stop. No, come on.
Stop, honey. You're being annoying. Stop. You're being annoying now.
Okay. So right there, I can get it. The way, you're being annoying. It might be true, honestly. He didn't respect her when she first said stop. But there's another way to say it is like, hey, I know you might want to give me a hug. Right now is not a good time for me. That's another way she could have said it. And then for him,
See how fast guys become nonchalant in relationship? Watch until the end.
Honey, come on. I didn't mean it. I'm sorry.
and so there's, again, she could have just given him some time, maybe just give him some space to like figure out what's even happening, whatever even he's feeling. That's okay too. He could then come back and say, hey, in that moment, I just felt rejected and it didn't feel very good. And then she could respond, hey, that makes sense. Totally. You're just trying to hug me and I kind of brushed you off and I can see why you felt rejected. And then, like, as mature adults, they get over it and they recognize that sometimes you just don't want to be hugged. But she also needs to respect the space. She's just,
What are you doing?
I'm sitting down. Oh, no.
and okay, that guy.
What are you doing? I thought we were going to.
So what are you doing? What are you doing? Where are you, like, I thought we were going out to lunch. Now she's feeling this emotion of fear. And so her path is to just go like, oops, he's fine. Like the healthiest relationship goes, we can have a disagreement. We can understand, like, I felt rejected and that's okay. Or, ooh, I have a fear that you're upset with me, but it's okay. Like we're going to come back to each other. And that's where there's a failure in both of these. And so you can rip on her and say, like, yeah, she broke him. Men can understand. Men can't understand because I think we've all felt this. We've all felt rejected before. But the reason she effed up, right? It's not all on her. She could have been more gentle with his emotions when she showed them off and stopped following. Yeah, good. Okay, thank you. This person is recognizing at least one step. But you always get into the danger zone when it's all on her. Like she's bad, she's bad, she's bad. And that's simply not true. They both have a role to play. And I just want you to imagine being able to man up, we'll call it that, to go own your own feeling. And at the end of the day, you go, I felt rejected. I just needed a hug. Because of course you did. And then you know what? If you can say that maturely, you're gonna get your hug. You're gonna get it. But what happens now is they both kind of stay in this immaturity and they end up, oh gosh, they end up kind of just going to different spots and like there's this major disconnect. And what happens in a lot of couples that's supposed to be like arrows is it never gets resolved, it never gets talked about, it never gets repaired. This is then becomes the story is that I'm annoying. That's what he says. I'm annoying and I'll never be enough. And then she goes, I can't even just have a minute to myself or say I don't want to be touched without him being upset. And so then she ends up feeling obligated to always be physically available. And then he never learns how to handle the experience of rejection and speak up for his own needs. And it just keeps people in this loop of immaturity, especially when you blame people. Blaming is one of the most immature things that you can do, to be honest. And the fastest way to end a relationship. I feel this word. That's why I've been single. And to be fair, is it easy to say I felt rejected and I need a hug? No, it's not easy. But that's the path. Oh my gosh, divorce. Divorce is easy. And I want to be clear. I'm not trying to be insensitive, but to just end things. in some situations is easy. It's easy to say divorce. How about that? Don't take this out of context. But it's a lot more difficult to say, sure, these are my feelings. This is what I need. But I also recognize that you might have a need to not be touched and to do the dishes and have some space, and that my need isn't more important than yours. That's always going to keep two people apart. And so this is what's sad is 370,000 people resonated with that feeling, that experience. But my fear, and the reason I'm doing this video, is that they're going to be stuck in immaturity and not ever see the way forward. She could have acted differently. Never heard I'm sorry once, right? And that's another thing too with I'm sorry. A lot of people just think they need an apology, but it's like they both need to apologize. She could say, I'm sorry, I was a little harsh when I said you were annoying. That behavior was annoying to me in that moment. And he could say, I'm sorry, I just totally shut down and walked away from you and didn't even talk. Right. But at that point, you don't even need to say is sorry as much as like, oh, that's how it felt for you. You felt rejected. Totally. I get it. And oh, you're right. You didn't want to be touched. Totally makes sense. There's days like later on this video, this guy didn't want to be touched. And then all these people, I'd be out of there in a heartbeat. Men have to be guarded, our emotions locked down. Good men won't let themselves reveal that slide anymore. And this a whole, again, as a man, I have to do this video to produce this content because this isn't true. Men definitely feel. We feel. And just as much as women, we express it differently though. The pain, this feeling of rejection is real, 100% real. Men feel rejected. They need love just like anyone else. But to sit here and talk about these extremes is always going to create more division than connection. And that's what I'm all about is connection. No wonder this is her second marriage. My gosh, I can't read these anymore. I just don't want to. But I hope this is helpful, just so you understand this feeling of rejection is so real, but there's a different way to do it. Just catch that moment where you feel rejected, check it in your body, what happens, and then go, how could I do that differently? I need to walk away for a little bit. And then maybe she's chasing me. What's wrong? What's wrong? I can also say, hey, something came up for me that didn't feel good. I need a minute and I will come back. Imagine if he said that. He didn't in this video. Or if she were to say, hey, I think something happened. I'd like to talk to you about it later, but let me know when you're ready. Neither one of did that in this video. There's always more mature lines and scripts and things you can do. So if you need some scripts, if you need some help with this, then go ahead and click subscribe. That's 100% what we talk about, having mature relationships, navigating your emotion as men. If you're interested in like way more in-depth content, I have a men's group specifically on a platform called School, and the link is down in the bio. So hope this is helpful. Feel the emotion, own it, and then choose to behave differently so that you can come back together. And this little miss in my relationship, it happens, but we come back 5-10 minutes later and we're good again, because this type of thing isn't enough to derail our marriage.